On October 13th, 1972, a small chartered plane lifted off from Carrasco International Airport in Montevideo, Uruguay. On board were 45 people, young rugby players, their friends and family members, and a small flight crew. They were heading to Santiago, Chile for what was supposed to be a simple sporting trip. The aircraft, operated by the Uruguayan Air Force, was a Fairchild turboprop, sturdy but not designed for extreme mountain navigation errors. As the plane approached the towering wall of the Andes Mountains, weather conditions worsened. Thick clouds swallowed the peaks. Turbulence shook the aircraft. Visibility dropped to almost nothing. The pilots believed they had cleared the highest mountains and began their descent toward Chile, but they were wrong. At over 11,000 feet, the plane slammed into a mountain ridge. The right wing was ripped off instantly. Moments later, the left wing tore away as well. The tail section separated, taking several passengers with it. The remaining fuselage, now just a hollow metal tube, slid down a glacier like a sled before crashing into a snowbank and finally coming to a stop. Silence followed. Then came the screams. 12 people died on impact. Many others were severely injured, broken legs, fractured skulls. Survivors crawled from twisted seats into the blinding white snow, dazed and bleeding. All around them stretched an endless wilderness of ice and rock. No trees, no birds, no sign of life. They were stranded in one of the most unforgiving environments on Earth. Inside the wreckage, they found a few chocolate bars, some wine, and small snacks. They rationed everything down to crumbs. Rescue planes flew overhead during the first few days. Survivors rushed outside, waving clothing and shouting, but the white fuselage blended perfectly with the snow. From the air, they were invisible. After 10 days, someone managed to repair a small transistor radio found among the luggage. The group gathered around it, desperate for news. Instead, they heard the crushing announcement: search operations had been called off. Authorities believed no one could have survived the crash. The world had given them up for dead. Just as they began adjusting to this grim new reality, disaster struck again. In the middle of the night, an avalanche thundered down the mountain. Tons of snow crashed into the fuselage, burying it completely. 8 more people died instantly, suffocated in darkness. The remaining survivors were trapped inside for days, clawing at the snow with bare hands, struggling to breathe. When they finally dug their way out, hope felt smaller than ever. As weeks passed, a new idea began to grow among them. Waiting meant death. The only chance was to escape the mountains on foot. Among the group was a young man named Nando Parado. Alongside him was Roberto Canessa, a medical student with the same unbreakable resolve. Together, they prepared for a journey no one could guarantee would succeed. They stitched insulation from the plane into makeshift sleeping bags. They fashioned sunglasses from plastic to prevent snow blindness. With blessings from the others, they set out into the mountains. For 10 days, they walked through a frozen nightmare. Each peak they climbed revealed another behind it. Their feet bled, their lungs burned in the thin air. At night, they curled inside their crude sleeping bag, shaking from cold. But then, on the 10th day, they saw something they hadn't seen in over 2 months. Green. Grass. A sign of life. Soon, they spotted a man on horseback across a river. Parado tied a message to a rock and threw it across the river. It explained everything: the crash, the survivors, the desperate need for help. The shepherd carried the message to authorities. Rescue helicopters were dispatched immediately. On December 22, 1972, 72 days after the crash, helicopters reached the site. One by one, the remaining survivors were airlifted to safety. 16 people endured over 2 months in the Andes and lived to tell the story. God bless you all.
Thanks for watching.